Hey, welcome back, guys. All right, so Aries. Aries, to start this storyline out, we have got the mythological hero of Perseus. And of course, in the tale of Perseus, he goes to battle against Medusa, the snake headed Gorgon, who can turn people to stone with just looking at them. But Perseus uses his wits, and he, knowing this, he says, well, I can't look directly at her, so let me use a mirror instead so that I can see where she's at, and thus, avoid being turned to stone. And so in this battle, he is victorious over Medusa because of his intellect and because of the way he chooses to approach. And so, that's how he is victorious against the villain. Now, also, from this battle, there springs the Pegasus, and the Pegasus are the winged horses. So after slaying Medusa, the Pegasus emerge from her, and they're actually a symbol of, again, great victory. That's what the Pegasus means. But in addition to that, in mythology, there's this tale that the Pegasus go on to give inspiration to the muses. And it's said that anywhere that their hooves touch down on earth, there will be a spring or a fountain of inspiration that comes from there. So if mortals, drink from that spring, then they in turn are very inspired. So this whole story is about courage. However, it's also about overcoming a fear and being victorious over a fear. And the way to become victorious over a fear is to use one's wits. So this is not about slaying anything unless, in a figure of speech, to say like, I'm squashing my fears because I'm going to use my intellect to help me get through something that I'm afraid of. Now, I don't know who it is that has a fear. We don't know if it's Aries or somebody else. We can only see that there will be victory as long as somebody uses their intellect, as long as they say, I'm not going to let fear scare me out of like going after my dream job. I'm going to figure out a way that I could stand out, on my resume, or stand out in that, that job interview, or something along those lines. Let's just look, what is the fear first? Ace of Coins sideways, Knight of Wands upright. It's interesting. This could be about love. Somebody could be fearful, like, I want something that could be long lasting, but I'm afraid that it'll just be fun for a little bit and not for a long time. How do I overcome that fear? How do I change the way things are going? Look, this could be Aries, since we have the Knight of Wands. Aries themselves might say, I know this about myself. Maybe I fear long-term commitment because I still want to be able to, go and explore other things in my life. Or the reverse could be true. Maybe this is an Aries saying, I promised myself I'm not going to get myself in a rut again. I really want to live more free. Okay, we have a Three of Swords and we have the Knight of Cups. Everything here says there is a fear around being disappointed, being heartbroken. Has Aries been dodging long-term connection for a bit? Is that what this boils down to? I think that this is Aries. I think Aries is like, I promised myself I didn't want to get heartbroken anymore. And so the idea of like, maybe I've lighthearted dated, I've made sure that I had more fun in my life for the last, couple months or maybe a couple years, but I made this mantra that I'm not going to like get lost in a heartbreak again. I don't want to build a huge empire with somebody and then risk, if I build it with somebody who isn't, trustworthy, and then they leave, then I got to rebuild all over again. And maybe that was really painful. And so Aries kind of said, well, I don't want to deal with that again, at least not right now. So I'm going to stay not for too long in any one situation. I'm going to stay very mobile. I'm going to come and go. I don't want to be overly committed. And yet there's this shift happening where I think Aries is realizing I kind of think my era of staying unattached is coming to a close because I'm starting to want something long term, but that's a little nerve wracking. I want to say that Virgo had something that was a little bit similar, where it was almost like if Virgo had been secretly staying single, even if they hadn't admitted it to themselves, they'd been staying single because they really didn't, they weren't ready for a long term commitment. Now, this kind of has that same message to it to me, but with one twist, which is I think Aries got hurt by an unfaithful or unreliable relationship in the past. And so they committed themselves to just avoiding getting too deep in other connections. It doesn't mean they didn't meet people that they've loved or had fun with, but I don't think Aries was into long-term commitment. And I think that's shifting, changing a little bit. I think Aries is in a new place in their life. And this is them having the courage to say, okay, maybe I would want a long-term. Maybe. We have the star. I think this could have even played a role in the way Aries has been for the last like 3 years of their life, saying, I want to do temp jobs or I want to do consulting work, but I don't want to, put myself into a long-term career. I want to be able to come and go as I choose, or I want to do a food cart, but I don't want to do a brick and mortar, restaurant. It feels like many things in Aries' life, they kept their freedom was like the number one thing. I want to stay free. I want to stay unattached. I don't want to give too much to any one thing and start to rely on consistency. I want to come and go as I choose. That's a way to avoid heartbreak. That's a way to avoid disappointment. But now we see Aries saying, I feel differently. I feel like this is a time of my life where I'm realizing my destiny, the thing that I'm really built for, the thing that I'm really made for is to have a successful, meaningful, long-term investment. I think that this Aries is like truly an emperor or an empress person. But I think they gave a lot maybe to the wrong job or to the wrong person, and it didn't work out. And this is the way Aries fought that battle of disappointment. They said, you know what? I got super disappointed, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I let myself live my best life, explore things that I'm interested in. I'm not going to, connect or commit to anybody for a bit, not until I've healed. I think this is the way Aries took care of their own heart, made sure that they got to revive the parts of them that were wounded, that were disappointed, that were tarnished. They're all polished up. And the real version of Aries is springing forth, much like the Pegasus. The real version of what Aries is meant for is coming front and center now. And I think Aries is somebody who really is supposed to build a massive empire or have a really long-term partnership with great success. But they needed to polish themselves and feel inspired to do that again. And that meant they had to really let themselves heal in the way they needed to. We have a Five of Wands. We have the Page of Coins. Aries is still assessing and addressing, am I ready for this? Am I going to choose to start something that I'm really going to invest in? This could be Aries is applying this in a bigger way in life as well. Have they found a place that they want to live in? And they're like, if I move here, I'm probably going to want to buy a house here. Am I ready to move to this valley? Am I ready to buy this house? Am I ready to start getting to know all the business owners in town? Am I ready to start putting down roots? Because I have a feeling this is my destiny. This is what I've been looking for. And I also think I'm ready. I'm healed enough. I'm like a shiny new penny. And I think this is it. This is my fountain of inspiration. This is where I'm going to make my stand and build my empire. Okay. Am I ready? Because my life's about to change. I'm not going to be all over the place, footloose, fancy free, spending my money to travel, dating different people. I'm actually ready to start dating for longevity. I'm ready to start thinking about making myself a permanent, rooted life. Is this really it? Am I ready for this? This is pretty awesome. This is Aries changing gears. This is Aries empire building era that is beginning. Oh yeah. Queen of Pentacles. I think Aries either is about to find the location where they're going to resonate really, really well. Let's not forget that spring of inspiration where the Pegasus steps his hoof. I feel there could be something very symbolic. Wherever Aries lives or wherever they work, they could be tapping into a flow of tremendous inspiration, or they could be in just the right town. You know how different towns have different things that they're really known for, Um, uh, all around the world, there's like different towns known for innovative things, or they're, what's on the map is like their whatever performing arts. Like I'm thinking of like the Met in New York, it's like that's the hub of opera, or Hollywood and, LA, or, there's just different areas that are very known for certain things. And I want to say that Aries, I'm not saying that they're in one of those two cities or anything. I'm just saying Aries is the location that they're at, the environment that they're choosing for themselves. It is an environment where their inspiration is going to be like off the charts. They're going to be really hitting their niche, their place and time where their life is going to put down roots really fast, and they're going to build like a really strong tree of life. Huge happiness on the horizon for this Aries. It doesn't mean that they have to be moving per se. Sometimes it's just the change within our own heart. But in this case, it could be connected to a geographical location, some place where it's going to be really particularly good for Aries. Let's just take a look. We have factory, we have airport. It's a travel hub, industrial production, manufacturing process, assembly line. Aries could be involved in aeronautics. They could be involved in creating something. They could be involved in transport of items that are manufactured. They could work in a factory, where a lot of import exports come in and out. Or this just represents that Aries will be a part of industry. They'll be a part of something, maybe the travel industry. But it just feels like Aries is going to be really investing in something, instead of being like, I'm doing this job, then I'm doing that job. I'm, living here, then I'm living there. I'm dating this person lightheartedly, then that person lightheartedly. It looks like Aries is like bringing everything into one sphere, and it's all going to click. And I think they're going to start to build their empire. Maybe Aries is going to start manufacturing an item, and it's going to become like a global sensation. Look, we have a lot of money coming in. A lot of money coming in. I don't know if Aries creates something that they then go global for, but it definitely feels like Aries is ready to sign their name to a contract, meaning like, this is mine. I made it. I patented this. This is yes, I'll work for this company for X amount of time, and this is the job I'll perform. Yes, I'll live here and I'll sign a lease, or I'll buy this house, it feels like Aries is like really putting roots down now, or they're about to. We got to ask about love, because I do feel like love is a big part of this as well. When it comes to love, we have a 3 of Cups sideways. First and foremost, I feel like Aries is saying, I want to be friends with anybody. I want to make sure somebody fits into my family before I would consider bringing them in for the long term. I need to go through some holidays with this person, see if they jive with my family. Because one thing I won't disrupt is the things that are most important to me. So I can't fall for any lovers or take anybody into my world that doesn't actually fit with the root system that I'm creating. I think Aries might be spending more time around their family right now also. They may be living closer to family. They may be focusing more. Maybe it's a family business that they're really invested in. I just feel like Aries is the victorious, like, person that is going to really make this huge tree of life blossom. It's their own tree of life, but it could indicate that they're strengthening bonds with their own family right now as well, or will be. And that is one of the key components about who they welcome into their life as a romantic partner. This is Aries saying, I'm in this for the long haul. Anybody who's going to be with me, they have to be a part of my tree of life. They have to be someone I'm truly compatible with and will remain compatible with, which means we can't have huge discrepancies. I don't want to marry somebody or get involved with somebody who doesn't like my family or the way that I like to live my life. I think it's true compatibility that Aries is really checking for. And with this Page of Wands, I think it's been a long time since Aries actually had a partnership that was truly compatible. But I also don't know if Aries ever truly asked the universe to bring them somebody that they were that compatible with. I wonder if that is why Aries had a very disappointing 3 of Swords at one point. Maybe Aries ended up like dating totally the wrong kind of person for who they are. Um, Maybe it's because Aries wasn't in the place where they wanted to be yet. All I can say is the person Aries ends up with, first off, King of Wands, perfect matchup for Aries. Um, and also someone that is like, I don't think Aries will have ever dated somebody that was like this before. In truth, I think it's somebody who truly matches. You know, how I kept saying, I think Aries is like emperor or empress material. They are somebody that can like build an empire, and they can build it fast once they're in one spot and they're inspired and they really want to do this. I kind of think Aries has never matched with a person who is that exact same, like dialed in, clicked in, mover shaker, ready to build an empire, and that's serious about longevity. And let's put all of our energy and resources into building something from here to the ground up. I think this is going to be a relationship unlike anything Aries has ever come across before. Because up until now, Aries always had their suitcase packed. They always had, like, I think Aries is maybe going to realize that they had been in an exploration phase of their life up until this point in time. And maybe Aries didn't know that. And they had a really big heartbreak at one point. But I think Aries is starting to realize I was still in an exploration phase. I'm just now ready to put down roots. Maybe Aries had to go out and explore the world, fall in love, fall out of love before they could come back to like, here's the reality of what I want. I want to build a huge empire. I've seen a bunch of the world now. I've had some life experiences. Now, let me pour all of my energy, my resources into building from right here. This is where I put down roots, and this is where I build my skyscraper. That's exactly the kind of partner that they're going to end up with. And I feel like because Aries is identifying that and saying, universe, I'm ready. That's why the universe is like spitting this person right into Aries' world. I do think Aries is going to be like business partners with somebody. They're going to be building an empire from the ground up with a person who fits in Aries' life, with a person who is similarly like-minded. And I think it's going to be unlike anybody Aries has ever dated or even considered dating before. Aries' desires are different than it used to be. And I think that this is almost like this wonderful sense of awakening for Aries as well. This is their truest, like, DNA being activated and them realizing, oh my God, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. They could match nicely with a fellow Aries, Leo, or Sag, but we did have strong Aquarius in there as well. But I just feel like something has shifted in Aries' entire like being, and I think that we see this happening, and I think Aries is fully embracing it. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Lots of love. Bye.